Hello everyone, I'm Ham and you watch. Welcome to Ham and Watch, and today another video of 5 reviews. This time we've got lots of indie games, lots of little indie games. Not necessarily great. If you're curious about indie games, then you will have a blast. If you're more into AAA games, you're not gonna enjoy this video. There's lots of little indie games, and also a big one, a big game. Surely you've probably clicked on this video just because of that game. Let's see if any of them are good. Let's go. Alright, first in the list we have Proverbs. Proverbs is a very indie puzzle game. This is a very tiny game, very tiny. I think it's made by one guy, where basically he took a very famous painting from a historical Netherlands, an historical Netherlands artist, which made a Proverbs painting based on the Proverbs from the Netherlands, and there's like hundreds of Proverbs into it. If you know some painters like Bruegel and such, this is basically that. And basically he took every little proverb, every little scene in that painting and made a little puzzle, but it's always the same principle. It is Minesweeper. So if you know Minesweeper, where you've got these cells and you've got to click on numbers and is there 3 here, and there's got to be 2 here, it's the deduction type of thing. This is exactly that. It's fine. It's totally fine. Video wise, you can see it's extremely simple. It's obviously based on the painting, so if you like that painting, it's great. The problem is that that's just what there is. That it's just one painting. Even if it's huge, it's just one painting. Audio wise, it's pretty cool. The gameplay is very simple. There's actually not much to it, and there's not even some twist about it. There's not even some exciting stuff that he would have done in terms of how you deduce the way you place the... It's okay. I was disappointed. I was expecting more. I knew what I was going into, and yet I was still a bit disappointed. This game is okay. This game is okay. I'm gonna give it a 60%. It's a C. It's an okay game, barely okay. I wanted more, I think. I wanted more. When I think of games like Hexcells, I know I talk about this game a lot, but if you want a good take on Minesweeper genre, I think Hexcells is better. So this one is okay. It's a game that you can play like 10 minutes every morning if you want to have fun with your coffee, and that's it. And you play that for weeks and weeks until you finish the whole thing. 60% C for Proverbs. Next, we have the Pedestrian. Pedestrian is an indie game that came out a while back. Once again, puzzle. 2D platformer. But there's a twist. These 2D little puzzle thing that you do are set in a 3D environment, and you have to play with that. As soon as you see what it's about on screen, you know, oh, that's an interesting thing. You immediately know what it's about, right? Video wise, it's very pretty. As you can see, it's very pretty. It's a very neat game. Even if you don't play in there, it's still a puzzle at the end of the day, right? Audio is fine. It's a nice music. But it's mostly the gameplay, right? When you play a game like that, you want crunchy puzzles. You want very smart ideas in there. And I must admit, I was disappointed. I was left disappointed because when you've got a concept like that, you're like, oh, is this going to be great? But no, the level design of every little puzzle is very uninspired. It's a bit boring. It's not bad, right? I was just expecting much more. Now, spoiler alert. Close the video right now. You've been warned. It's a mild spoiler anyway. At the end of the Pedestrian, which is a very short game, there is a twist. There is a big twist. And I was mind blown. I was like, oh, this is great. Oh, now the game is starting and it's great. And boom, the game ends. And you're like, what? Why? Why did you do that? These last 5-10 minutes, that twist at the end was for me the beginning of the game. The whole rest should have been a tutorial, admittedly a long tutorial, but that's it. If you are patient enough to play this game just for the ending, you should do it. Because at the end there is something mind-blowing, and I was like, this could have been a masterpiece that people rate a 9 out of 10 if it was the game. Expanding on that, on the concept. As it is, 90% of that game is just okay. It's just okay. So I'm going to give the Pedestrian a 65%. It's a C. It's okay. It's okay. It's definitely better than Proverbs. And it could have been brilliant. I still think that the ending is really great. I just wanted more of that, you know? It's just like as if the cherry was the best thing in an okay cake. So there you go. I finished this game. It was very cool. Pedestrian. Have a look at it, I think, if you can get it on sale. Alright, next in the list we have SIFU. SIFU. I think it's pronounced SIFU, which is a game about kung fu and fighting in Asia, like all those Hong Kong movies type of thing. It's also a roguelike where basically as you progress and you get some stuff, but eventually you die, you fail your run and you have to restart, but you progress with a bit more stuff, so it's a bit easier. A note about that in a few moments. SIFU is a game that looks awesome. It doesn't look AAA, but it looks really awesome. The whole illustrated thing, the whole movement, the motion capture, the environment, it looks really cool. It looks indie, but like a great indie, right? If you like fighting games, if you like beat them up and you know, knowing all the combos and all that, this game is smooth. It's so smooth, and there's so many enemies, and it's really mind-blowing how well it's orchestrated. I think it's one of the best games out there. Not in 2D, mind you, it's in 3D, right? It has a very good setting. It has a very good drama. The whole story about this guy and revenge and all that. It's very well done. Disclaimer: I did not finish it, and that's because that's the thing I mentioned at the beginning. This game is not easy. Oh my god, great game, but it's so hard. This game is really hard, and it's not trying to help you. It's not trying to be gentle or anything. If you want to finish this game, you're gonna sweat. And I know some people out there will have no trouble and will Let's be honest, I've never been good at fighting games, Street Fighters and all the like. So this is that, plus it's in 3D. I suck at this, okay? I suck at this type of games. I've never been good at memorizing all the combos and you know, doing these combos in a fraction of a second when you realize that the enemy is actually going this way rather than this way. It is super hard. But if you manage, if you have a fast skill and all that, you will have a blast. This is so cool. I wish I could have finished this game because it's very hard. It's exhausting, but it's really good. SIFU gets 80% from me. It's a B. It's a very good game. Very good game. It's not great, because if it was great, I think I would have continued. It's just a very good game. I would argue that it's one of the best at conveying this whole beat them up fighting games with your fist, and you can grab items and stuff. It's really well done, really well done. I liked it a lot and did not finish it, sadly, and I don't think I ever will, but I had a blast playing it. Very good game, very good fighting game. SIFU 80%. Next in the list we have Ocean's Heart. Ocean's Heart is a 2D game that looks like all those old RPG adventure games. And admittedly, when you look at it, you know what this game is about. It looks like an old Zelda, right? It looks a lot like Zelda. You play this girl in this fantasy world, and a big adventure is happening to her. I'm not going to spoil, but there you go. It's a Zelda-ish game. I don't know if the story becomes as big as Zelda or what, because I did not finish this game. And it's not because it's bad. It's just because there's not enough for me to go on, and also it's a low budget game, okay? It's a low budget game, and the pace is very slow, and I think this is a game that would work great for younger gamers, people who don't have necessarily a lot of experience in this type of Zelda top-down 2D view. If you're between 10 and 20 and you've never played that many games like that, and you're okay with a low budget game from someone who tried something with lots of heart, because there's a lot of heart put into there. They really tried to make something plausible, like it's a whole lore with the villages and the characters. It works. I think you would have a blast. I think you would have a blast. It probably wouldn't be, you know, the best game of your life or whatever, but I think it would be, I don't know, probably a 7 or 8 out of 10. For me, Ocean's Heart was okay. There's not enough for me to continue, and that's why I give it a 62%. It's a C, which is an okay game. It's okay. 62% is definitely fine. It's a 62% for a game like that, for a gamer like me, will be a 70-80% for someone else who played less of that, I think. Nice music, cool story, lots of dialogues, lots of places to explore. So if you're intrigued by that, if you want an adventure in 2D, in very low budget indie, Ocean's Heart is a great game for you. And finally, in this list, we have the big one, Clair Obscur, also known as Expedition 33, 2 titles so that people would be able to remember that. Clair Obscur, French RPG, a huge game that everybody raved about. It was hard for me to get into this game because of the hype. You know, for some people, for lots of people, it's apparently the best game in the last 20 years or so. It's the Messiah, what have you. So it was hard for me. I don't know if it, you know, did something to my judgment. All right, but I'll say it out of the blue. The game is good. The game is great. It's a great game. There's great stuff in there. It doesn't make it the game that people say it is for me, okay? Alright. Clair Obscur is an RPG that tries to be a JRPG with all the indie means that you can have nowadays. It's a big story, big fantasy story, end of the world type of thing, and there's lots of plot and characters, and there's a very cool environment and very cool music, and there's a and most of all, I will say this right now, the gameplay is very cool in the sense that the combats are awesome. Being able to remake the fighting system like in a Final Fantasy game, but to make it different, to make it attractive, to make it new and fresher, that's probably the one of the best thing, if not the best thing of this game. And I would argue this, that you have to play Clair Obscur for 2 things. If you want to see how you can make a turn-by-turn combat like in a JRPG nowadays with a new idea, a very novel idea, which is really cool, or if you want to have a very cool story. And someone like my wife, who doesn't enjoy the combats, was able to play the story just because she put the game in story mode, and that's very cool for people who want to enjoy a good story. Clair Obscur has very cool graphics, and at the same time very generic. It looks cool and sometimes really neat, and sometimes very generic, very it's done as if it was done by some generic assets. I don't know, it's a mix bag in there. Audio wise, Clair Obscur has some very cool tracks, I would say a handful, and all the rest, close your ears if you love that game, is trash. I hate it. I hate it so much that I had to cut the music most of the time during this game because it was awful, with people singing awfully and some very pretentious and annoying music with weird, no melodies. It's just very bad. So 90% trash music, I hate it. 10% very cool tracks. Gameplay, I mentioned that already. Cool combats, very cool stuff. It's really neat. The combats are very addictive, so try this game for that. The content is awesome. Like it starts with a very basic intro, and you're like, okay, and then boom, there's a big plot twist. You're like, what the hell was that? And then boom, there's another big plot twist I can't spoil, and you're like, oh my god, how dare they? And so because of that, because of this very neat and unique take on the story, I think you will stay. That's how I stayed. I stayed just because of that, because I was like, okay, this is actually very unique. I like that. So they got me for that, and I can only hope that their next games will be as good and promising and unique and original and all that. At the end of the day, I'm giving Clair Obscur an 82%. I think this is very generous of me, and at the same time, I cannot give it a 60 or whatever. I don't think this deserves that. I think it's a very, very good game. It's a great RPG. I won't remember it in 10 years as being one of the best games of all time, like so many years. Just, yeah, it was a great RPG. 82% is an A. It's a great RPG. Finished it. Had loads of fun. I just don't think this is the best game of all time, like so many people think. If you are still intrigued, then you can put the hype beside. Great RPG, 82% for Clair Obscur. And that's it. That's the end of the video. These are the 5 games I reviewed this time. I hope you found some great stuff in there. I think there's definitely some good stuff if you're into indie gaming. If you're not as jaded as I am, there's some great stuff in there. Oh, and also there's Clair Obscur. If you've never played that game, yeah, I think you should look into these games. I hope you enjoy that, and I will see you next time for 5 new reviews. Bye bye.